Bryan Kohberger is the autistic, murderous 28-year-old teacher's assistant from Washington State University who had slain 4 university students from another college across state lines, the University of Idaho. Kohberger comes up Virgo rising. Bryan Kohberger is an incel, which means involuntarily celibate. And what does that remind you of? Virgo, the virgin, the spinster, the incel. Virgo likes sex as much as any other sign, but they're awkward. Remember, adjacent signs are very opposite each other. So take Virgo's neighbor, Leo, the playboy. Leo rising handles romance with far more ease, confidence, flirty, fun-loving. They just have a natural affinity for it. On the other side of Virgo is Libra, popular, likable, and naturally gravitates toward relationships. So poor little Virgo is wedged between these two relationship powerhouses. And since adjacent signs are opposite each other, as stated in the very first video of this channel, you therefore get an introverted, self-conscious, inferiority complex Virgo. Being autistic, having visual snow syndrome, and obsessive-compulsive disorder are obvious sources of frustration in Kohberger's life. Because of that, he did not have a love life and was awkward in social settings. But he did have one thing above everyone else, and that is his intelligence. Kohberger wants you to know he is smarter than you and is the smartest person in the room. One impressed associate professor, Michelle Boger, recommended him for a PhD program. She only recommended 2 people in her life, and Kohberger was one of them. So if there's one thing about himself Kohberger has pride in, it is his intelligence.
Person who went to school with Kohberger, just make sure, who said, I guess volunteered this, that Kohberger committed these homicides because he wanted to know what it felt like to commit these crimes in relation to his studies, and ultimately if he could get away with the crimes, further supporting his belief that he was smarter than others. Blank said committing these crimes and his need to control others is consistent with his personality. So that was sort of her take on what happened, one of the other people from the school.
Having a stellium of planets in the 3rd house is like having a stellium of planets in Gemini, as the houses and signs seem interchangeable. As Kohberger didn't have any friends, he would look for any opportunity to jump into debates and kept hammering his arguments until he wore out his welcome. He didn't get the hint when people said, "I've got to get back to work. I've got to go home now," because he would just keep talking, sometimes following people as they were walking away. Even his mother had a hard time ending phone conversations.
He called his mother within 2 hours of the murders. He called his mother as he returned to the scene of the crime, not even 2 hours later. He called her 2 more times and all told spent 3 hours on the phone with her. Was this out of character? Was this a binge of calls to mom that you were able to identify on his telephone?
This was his normal behavior, reaching out to mother and father repeatedly. If one didn't respond, he would reach out to the other. He would constantly text them and call them starting as early as 5 or 6 in the morning, his time, and his parents were Eastern, and then also at night to almost talk him into going to sleep and being able to rest.
Now, did you know David Byrne, lead singer of Talking Heads, a highly successful 80s rock band, is autistic? Part of his quirkiness comes from his autism. And guess what? He has Virgo rising. Elon Musk has been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, a mild form of autism. And what do you think Maddie Mogan, one of Kohberger's victims, comes up as? Taurus. She was a marketing major. I've seen Kohberger put down as Pisces rising, perhaps because of his autism and the stellium of planets landing in the 9th house of academia. I would say, yeah, that looks like a good fit. I was scratching my head when he came up Virgo. I find that the mental disabilities associated with Pisces tend toward learning disorders, retardation, Down syndrome. Mel Torme, described as a musical genius progeny, rectifies as Pisces rising. Although he didn't have the disorder, he looked like he had Down syndrome. People with autism seem to have their brains wired differently. Some of them seem to be half human, half computer. They're more focused and seem to make fewer mistakes. Autism and Virgo rising seem to go hand in hand. Autism almost guarantees a virginal existence, although it doesn't have to be. Amy Schumer married an autistic man. Elon Musk married and had a child. The autistic person's intelligence can certainly be a feature to attract a mate. Kohberger identified with famous incel Elliot Rodger, the man who started the incel movement, when he went down in a blaze of glory. Because he was so angry at never having a girlfriend, he went on a murderous rampage until the police sniped him down. His public chart shows Leo rising, which is highly unlikely. The chart time originated from a statement Elliot Rodger made, saying he was born at 8 a.m., which is likely a rough estimate at best, since most people are not born on the hour. With 29 degrees of Leo rising on an 8 a.m. chart, anything beyond that time is going to be Virgo. Actually, I get a rectification of 10 a.m. Elliot was also diagnosed as autistic, Asperger's syndrome, as well as some other mental medical abnormality. Once again, here is someone who likely had Virgo rising that was diagnosed as autistic and was a virgin.
Hey, Elliot Rodger here. I'm up in the hills in Montecito right now. It's truly a beautiful day, but I've been alone for a very long time. I've been attending college in Santa Barbara for about 2.5 years now. And in those 2.5 years, I've experienced nothing but loneliness and misery. And my problem is girls. There are so many beautiful girls here, but none of them give me a chance, and I don't know why. I don't know why you girls are so repulsed by me. It doesn't make sense. I have a nice car, a BMW. Well, it's nicer than 90% of the people at my college. And yet, you girls, you never give me a chance. I put a lot of effort into dressing nice. These sunglasses here, they were $300. Giorgio Armani. So I'll put them on. See? I see so many beautiful blonde-haired, just so many beautiful blonde-haired girls walking around everywhere. In your revealing shorts, your cascading blonde hair, your pretty faces. I'm still a virgin. I've never had the pleasure of having sex with a girl, sleeping with a girl, kissing a girl. I've never even held a girl's hand. And that's just such an injustice because I'm so magnificent. I deserve girls much more than all those slobs I see at my college who are somehow able to walk around with beautiful girls. I should be the one with the girls. Why won't you give me a chance? Unbelievable.
Do you know what the rising sign of Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak is? It's Virgo. And how about the other Apple co-founder, Steve Jobs? It's Virgo too. You might find that a lot in Silicon Valley because engineering and software jobs take up so much of a person's time, it's not unusual for them to put in a full day only to take their work home with them. Successful founders had to put a great deal of their time working on their fledgling startups, that all-consuming project, that every waking hour job. And what rising sign do you think Mark Zuckerberg has? Virgo is an earth sign. In police interrogations, earth signs rising never tell you the motive or details of their murders. The best you can get out of them is a confession if you offer a plea deal, and they are the first ones to ask for a lawyer. Here's a guy who comes up Taurus rising, Jeffrey Scullin.
I didn't do anything, sir. I didn't do anything.
Jeff, okay, we have the murder weapon.
What? What's the murder weapon?
We have the knife. It has your DNA on it, and it has her blood on it. So how is that possible?
I don't know.
Jeff, you're gonna feel better, whatever happened that day, at least giving some reason, get it off your chest. This is your chance to make it right.
I did not do anything, no.
Do you know what people are gonna look at the most and remember is they wanna know why, and did the person show remorse?
I never hurt her. I would never.
And we don't have the why. Nobody's gonna understand, and you certainly haven't shown any remorse.
With the offer of a plea deal, he finally did admit to the crime, but never told the true motive. Because the plea deal required giving the motive, he made one up that was wholly preposterous. They will not tell you a blessed thing. Here is T.J. Lane, who comes up Virgo rising. He sprayed his school cafeteria with bullets, killing or injuring students as well as paralyzing one.
About 2 weeks. Okay. Can you tell me when it first entered your head, what that thought was?
I don't know exactly.
Who gave you this thought, Tommy?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sorry, but
You have to have something's going on inside there, Tom. We're just asking
I know.
so we can understand.
Trying to understand it myself.
Where'd the idea come from? Was it something you saw, maybe a movie, that gave you the idea, thought it would be kind of neat,
No.
different? Why? What?
Most of the time I thought about it, I didn't really want to do it.
So why did you?
I felt like it was forced. I don't know.
Forced from who?
Nobody could really force me to, so I don't know.
Hey Tom, my name's Officer Luis, the Sheridan Police Department. What did you want to accomplish?
I don't know. I didn't accomplish anything.
He never did give a motive. They will take it to their grave. Here is Arturo Novoa, who comes up Capricorn rising. He killed his girlfriend and stuck her in a freezer.
When I told you the other day at your house that some people who were acquaintances of yours said that you burned their things up.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
I don't understand how, like, acquaintance of who exactly means. Because I don't know anybody that she personally knows. Which was
talking about your people that know you, not her.
No.
Okay. People that know you said this, that you burned your things up. Now I have people that know you saying you brought a freezer to our house. So when they opened it up, guess what they found?
What did they find, sir?
Why do you think you're here? The charges of
No.
abuse of a corpse.
Excuse me?
Abuse of a corpse.
Are you being serious right now?
I'm not fooling with you, man.
You're
I
100%
would
serious
not make
right
this
now.
up. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't believe it.
I wouldn't be sitting here with you at, 10 o'clock at night, then, if I wasn't talking about a body in a freezer that you brought to a
You
guy's
gotta be
house.
fucking kidding me.
Not making it up, man.
The fuck?
So, I'm trying to figure out how all these people that are not her friends, they're people that you know, are saying this.
Alrighty then. Wow. Alrighty then. Yeah, something is wrong here.
It's kind of too
This
many.
is fucked up.
It's kind of too many people now. You know what I mean?
This is fucked up.
It's
We
kind
need to
of.
make a phone call.
It's kind of too many people. After I tell
Hey,
you,
you're worried
a
about-
body in a freezer, direction card fraud is baby shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Can I make a phone call? Because I'm gonna need to obviously get a hold of a lawyer.
Oh, would you like to talk to a lawyer?
I would like to call my lawyer, yes.
Okay.
Only I don't.
Who is your lawyer?
And there it is. He's asking for a lawyer. In fact, he wanted a lawyer almost at the start of the interrogation. Did you notice how he avoided answering questions by refusing to acknowledge any of the detective's information on the case? Earth signs rising do not air their dirty laundry. They maintain a dignified front. It's all about their public image, their public standing. They refuse to incriminate themselves, which is humiliating and beneath their dignity. Also, they don't want to say something that could sabotage their lawyer's defense. Shortly after the detective started the interrogation about the Idaho murders, Kohberger was asking for a lawyer. He made this request 4 times. He never did answer any questions about the crime. Most people will not ask for a lawyer when questioned because it makes them look guilty, but Earth signs ask for one because they got nothing. They're tongue-tied. They don't know what to say without incriminating themselves, so they ask for a lawyer. In the meantime, they stave off questions with various catchphrases. For example, Jeffrey Scullin kept saying, "I didn't do it, I didn't do it." T.J. Lane said, "I don't know, I don't know." Arturo Novoa simply asked for a lawyer. Since I saw 2 charts for Kohberger with Pisces or Scorpio rising, I want to show you how water signs rising respond to interrogations. Grant Amato comes up Pisces rising. He worked as a nurse who was fired from his job because of administering unauthorized medication, propofol, to patients, claiming he was trying to ease their suffering. Perhaps the hospital noticed too many people were dying on his shift, but that wasn't the crime in question. The crime he was up for was slaughtering his entire family. His father had kicked 29-year-old Grant out of the house for running up a $200,000 bill on a porn internet site hosting a virtual girlfriend. With water signs rising, if you take them back a year and bring them up to the present, you will know the motive. That's because water signs rising talk, chock full of details, short of incriminating themselves. Water signs rising are too overwhelmed to keep track of their lies. They're afraid they'll contradict themselves or be unable to explain inconsistencies or discrepancies, so they simply tell the truth, to a point.
You know, and a lot of it just came back to money with him. He would like allow me to spend money that he had, like with his credit card or something like that. But it's like then whenever I did, it was like a huge problem.
Okay, so you had one of his credit cards.
Yeah.
And what were you buying with it?
Well, what I was doing is over the past 4 months or something like that, I've been talking to this woman online.
Who's she?
She's as embarrassing as it is. She's a cam model.
A what?
A cam model. Do
All right.
either of you guys know what that
Nope.
is?
Just like all the videos, you have to tell us.
A cam model, it's like it's like a virtual girlfriend, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Like that type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the money went to her.
Okay. Where's she at?
She lives in Bulgaria.
Where?
Bulgaria.
Where's that?
Over in Europe. It's like outside of Germany.
Okay.
Something like that.
You ever been there?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't that serious.
So what would you give her money for?
Just for like the time online with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just like
the motive is beginning to become clear. Amato has been infatuated with this cam model and has been spending a large amount of money. money that Amato had stolen from his family.
Like that type of thing.
And what did she charge? By the minute, by the hour?
Minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much is it per minute?
Oh God, I think it was like 90 tokens a minute, and it's like the conversion rate for all of that is like $600 for like 5,000 or something tokens or something like that. So, and then it was 4 hours a night. So I mean that's basically just where all like the costs went to, was you pay real money for the tokens, then you use the company's digital currency for that.
So you do that, and when did you meet her?
I met her at the beginning of July. Yeah, at the very beginning of July.
Okay, and still talking to her?
Still, yeah. I mean, more just on like Twitter, like just through direct messaging. Again, cell phone service doesn't work, so it's like I can't use the chatting like that.
How much do you think you spent on this? Because it seems kind of pricey.
Yeah.
90 tokens and $5,000 for how many tokens?
No, it's $600 for 5,000.
For 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much do you think you spent on this?
Probably close to like $200,000, I'd say.
$200,000?
Yeah.
And where'd the money come from?
Money came from me, my brother, and then my dad.
Did they know where the money was going to?
They didn't know that it was going to a cam model.
You may have to work on them a bit, but you can often get them to confess. Here is Jason Bielanger, who comes up Scorpio rising. After the detectives work on him a bit, he confesses.
I just basically stayed home, got drunk and high and whatnot, and I waited till it got dark, and then I went over, and then I killed him. And after that, I left and I went to the bingo hall, and I told her it was done, and she told me to go home and take a shower, so I did. So I put all my clothes in a garbage bag, and I jumped in the shower. And I was only in the shower for like 10 seconds, 2 minutes maybe, and I yelled out to her to tell her that all my clothes were over at her mom's house getting washed. And Missy said that, nobody really goes to his house. I mean, her exact words were, that son of a bitch can probably sit there and rot and nobody would find him. And I was dumping gas in the kitchen, a little bit in the living room, and I ran some gas down the steps, lit the house on fire. And the next day...
See? He tells you everything. Now, if that is not enough to convince you that Kohberger likely has an earth sign rising, in particular Virgo, I would like to throw something else out there. Astrological signs often have template looks. One look I've seen with Virgo rising is that of an oblong skull with eyes set high on the face. Now, they don't all have this look. It is simply one look of Virgo. Take Keanu Reeves, who has a stellium of planets in Virgo, plus Virgo rising. Here he is as a young man. His eyes are set high on the face. Sometimes there's a disconnect between the eyes on top of the face and the rest of the face, as if two pieces of the face came together. Here is Virgo rising Donald Sutherland. Now, I know Ava Gardner's public horoscope shows her to have Leo rising, but she doesn't rectify for Leo. She comes up Virgo. She tells you on the first page of her autobiography, Ava, My Story, what time she was born. I came into this world at 10 o'clock at night, and I've often thought that was the reason I turned into such a nocturnal creature. 10 p.m. gives Virgo rising. You can see the eyes are set high on her face. Another actor with Virgo rising was Jan Michael Vincent. He had striking good looks, but what captures your attention are his eyes. Although very attractive, they seem placed a bit high. That's all well and good, but it's not like you can pick him out of a crowd. Back to Kohberger. Look at his eyes. Would you say they're set high on his face? One more time. What rising sign do you think Mark Zuckerberg has? That's all I got. See you in the next video.